Staying minimalist is a different journey than becoming minimalist, and I think it's really helpful for people to see that delineation. You can go to a bookstore and you can find shelves and shelves of books about how to own less, how to declutter your home, how to become minimalist. But there are very few books about how to stay there once you get there. So I want to take a moment to talk about that, because I've found that it usually comes down to two practices. Staying minimalist comes down to number one, embracing clutter-free habits in our home, and number two, overcoming consumerism going forward. So how do we keep our home minimalist once we get it there? And number two, how do we stop from just buying everything that we've gotten rid of? Let's talk about habits. You can find a link in the description below to a video that I recorded on 7 daily clutter-free habits for your home. Things like resetting the kitchen in the evening, tidying up your living room, making your bed, embracing some of these daily things that we just need to do in order to keep the clutter from piling up in our home. But there's more than daily habits that we've embraced in our home and you will need to embrace in yours. There are also weekly habits, things like taking out the garbage, I think are a pretty good example. And even seasonal habits. So for my family of 4, we go through the home after Christmas, we go through the home each spring. With this many people living in the house, things are just bound to enter through the door. And we've discovered, unless we have weekly, seasonal habits where we're going through those things, removing the things we don't need, that is our best way to keep the home clutter-free and minimalist going forward. So you need to embrace habits, which by the way are much easier to embrace once you've minimized your home. But the second piece is this: how do we overcome consumerism? This is difficult, it's a different mindset, and it takes intentionality. We live in a world, in a culture, in a society that constantly tells us to buy more and more and more stuff. And overcoming that thinking requires some focused attention. Here are some ways that you can do it. Number one, notice the benefits of owning less. Notice how owning less has improved your home, has improved your life, has improved your outlook on life. When you notice them and articulate the benefits of owning less, you are less inclined to want to own more in the future. Number two, embracing generosity and gratitude. The more you embrace those two practices as disciplines in your life, the less likely you are to buy a bunch of things you don't need. Number three, limit inputs. Unsubscribe from retail, newsletters on your email, watch less television, notice advertisements in a different light and with a different eye. What are they really trying to sell me? We begin to limit inputs, but maybe more than anything else, overcoming consumerism comes down to realizing that our money and our life are more important and more valuable than wasting them on material possessions. When we begin to see the good that our money can accomplish in the world, when we begin to realize that we were designed and created for more important things than just buying a bunch of stuff that we don't need, when we realize that and recognize it, we're less likely to waste our money and our time and our energy and ultimately our lives on things that don't matter. Also, if you're enjoying these videos, be sure to subscribe to the channel, click like, and share this with your friends.